If you spend any time on the internet, you notice that a lot of people are becoming more religious, specifically young people and specifically in self-improvement communities. But is there anything behind this trend, or is it, in fact, just a trend? Does religion actually give you some life benefits? And if yes, how can you use it even as an atheist? That's what we will discuss in this video. And by the end of this video, I'll give you a secret coping mechanism integrated in all religions that you can simply steal and use yourself. Hi, my name is Mike, and you're on my personal channel. First of all, does religion actually give you some benefits? And the answer is yes. Statistically, following a religion increases your lifespan, life satisfaction, and it also helps with stress regulation. However, a lot of that doesn't come from following a religion itself. It comes from being a part of a community of like-minded people. In fact, many societies with huge lifespans leverage that exact same thing. For instance, in Mediterranean, they have those very tight communities, and that's why people live so long there. Well, that's part of the reason. But there are also other important things that religion can give you even without a community. For example, you can take inspiration from it, use it to fight anxiety and nihilism. And you can also leverage the adjacent philosophy, because every religion comes with a set of beliefs about life, the things that they call adjacent philosophy of religion. And the best part is that you can have all of that without believing the actual theological claims of any religion. That means you can stay an atheist, believe in science and stuff, and still have all the benefits of believing in a religion. This is something that many people call spiritual but not religious, though I don't really like this term because it sounds extremely cringe, so I will not use it. Instead, I will focus on the concept itself, because the concept itself is actually pretty good. So let's say you're not religious at all right now. You believe in science, you're an atheist, and you don't want to change your views. How can you use a religion then? How will it even work? And I'll tell you how. It works because humans respond to stories very, very well. Humans are wired to feel something when they hear a story. And stories change our behavior more than anything. And then we have religions. Religions are essentially just a very powerful stories that influence a lot of people. So by thinking about this story, learning from it, and getting inspired from it, you can influence your own behavior. And you don't even have to believe in it, just like you can get inspired by a movie without believing in it actually being real. And over time, you internalize this story, you make it a part of yourself, and it becomes even more powerful. That's the exact same thing that people describe when they say something like, I have a deep relationship with God. That's what they mean. They internalize this story and use it to defeat anxiety, nihilism, self-doubt, and other things that we don't like and don't want in our lives. And so the first thing you have to do in order to use a religion to your advantage is to choose a religion that is actually philosophically and aesthetically pleasing to you specifically. Not to me, not to someone else, but to you. And what I mean by that is obviously you need to like this story, but also you need to like the moral and philosophical arguments that this religion brings. It must align with your moral and philosophical views. For most people, such a religion will be Christianity, because they simply grew up in this environment and they already have the similar or even the same views and morality that Christianity actually teaches. Also, Christianity has a lot of denominations, and you can essentially make it whatever you want it to be. That's why even if you disagree with one thing, you can just go to another denomination that doesn't have this thing. Or you can even make your own version of Christianity. People do this all the time. They just selectively believe what they want to believe and disbelieve what they don't want to believe. Treat it as a metaphor or something. And that's completely fine for what we're trying to do. We're not trying to win a theological argument or whatever. We are trying to improve our lives and essentially create a powerful personal story that will resonate with us. For me personally, Norse mythology is the most aesthetically pleasing. That's why I take my inspiration from it. I like the philosophical views, I like the moral views, which are pretty similar to what Nietzsche wrote about. And also I really like that Norse mythology emphasizes personal responsibility. That whole story and its adjacent philosophy really teaches that you are responsible for everything that is happening to you. Because in real life, that's practically true. If you are dissatisfied with your life, it's pointless to blame other people. It will not give you any positive effect. But if you assume total responsibility for your own life, then suddenly it gets easier. So that's the part that resonates with me in Norse mythology. And that's why I take my inspiration from it. But you can totally choose anything else. I'm not here to pressure you into any philosophical mindset or any religion. Now I have to say a few words about fate, because in many religions, fate plays a big role. Many theological frameworks essentially remove free will from you. So whatever happens was meant to happen all along. And you can see it as a bad thing at first. But if you think about it more, then you will see that this is actually a very good thing. Because let's assume fate exists. Everything that ever happened was meant to happen exactly as it happened. That means that it's completely pointless to cry about what happened in the past. And the only thing you can focus on is your future. Why? Even though you're not choosing what will happen? Because even though if we assume fate exists, you're not choosing what will happen in the future, you don't know your fate. So your best course of action is to act as if free will exists anyway. The only thing believing in fate removes and changes in your life is that you don't have to worry about the past anymore. That's why I see believing in fate as an absolute positive. So even if your religion of choice has it, don't be scared by that. Oh yeah, remember that secret coping technique I was talking about at the beginning of this video? Now think about it. What does a Christian or Muslim do when they feel stressed? Exactly, they pray. And praying is that secret coping mechanism that I was talking about, and it's extremely powerful. Because what happens during a prayer? You close your eyes, you commit some kind of ritual, and you're focusing on the present moment, and sometimes even on feeling gratitude. If you watched even a minute of a self-improvement content, you know what that sounds like. That sounds very much like meditation and gratitude practice. And that's exactly what it is. That's why people do that, because it was literally scientifically proven to work. There is no religious mystery tied to it, it's just that it simply works. Just like meditation, because essentially that's the same thing. So even if your religion doesn't have that coping mechanism, you can just integrate meditation into your life and get the same effect. Another interesting thing about religion is that it gives you a plug-and-play answer to the question about the meaning of life. So it partially removes nihilism, because even if you just ask this question, it means a very specific thing about you. However, nihilism and the meaning of life is a huge separate topic, and what it means about you and other important details is what we will discuss in my next video, so subscribe to this channel to not miss it. Right now, let's summarize. Your homework is to pick a religion that aligns with your values and philosophical beliefs. Read the story, internalize it, and get inspired by it. Don't engage in the theological debates, that's not what it is about. Rather read the story, find meaning in it, and make it your own. You don't have to force any beliefs on yourself, you have to pick a story that you actually already like. And that's it for this video. Write me in the comments about your success with using religion for your benefit, and I see you in my next video about the meaning of life.